About a year and a half ago, I left everything behind and moved continents. It was scary, it was stressful, but honestly, it was super worth it. For the first time in my life, I start to understand who I really am and what I want to do in life. And I want to share that story with you to show you that it's never too late to start over. Before the big move, I had a coffee shop in a small town in Germany, and I was happily married, I still am, and lived close to my friends and family. I had a nice apartment, a car, a stable life. And I worked long and hard for this, for what's supposed to be my dream, because I was working in hospitality or in specialty coffee for years. And the shop was doing good. It was not making me rich by any means, but it was doing okay. But deep down, I felt irritated. I felt unhappy, and like small interactions make me angry. I couldn't sleep. I felt stressed out the whole time, and I couldn't understand or figure out how, because in my head I told myself, this is my dream. This is what I want to do, but it did not feel that anymore. I was ashamed of being so unhappy. I didn't even tell anybody. Not even my closest friends. I kept on pretending everything is great, everything is fine, I'm doing wonderful. But deep down, I knew I had to change something. And I finally talked with somebody. I talked with my wife. And after long talks, many thoughts, I presented her the idea of starting over, of moving to Mexico. At first, right after I said it, I immediately thought, okay, that's maybe something, just a wild guess, a wild dream to run away. That is not something that is even worth going after. That's just a fluke. But the more I thought about it, and the more I tried to picture my life in Germany, my future in Germany, our future in Germany, I couldn't picture that. I could picture our future. It just wasn't in Germany anymore. So I think I have to explain a little bit. So my wife is from Mexico. And for over 2 years, we had a very long distance relationship. After that, she moved to Germany and we lived there for over 5 years. During that time, we visited her family very often. And I loved it. I loved the people, the warmth, the food, the overall vibe. And I kept fantasizing about the idea of moving there. But I brushed it away always as just that, as a fantasy, as an escape, as something I think we all do when we're somewhere on holidays. We keep thinking to ourselves, what if we live here? I should move here. So I brushed it off all the time. But that idea kept growing. It got bigger and bigger until I couldn't ignore it any longer. And I started to dive deeper into it and listen more to myself, what I want, what I really do want. And I realized I do want that change. I do want that big step. But I did not only wanted that big step in location. And I also knew that's not the only thing that has to be done. I knew I had to change myself. Because you cannot expect moving somewhere and everything will be completely different. It will be for a while until the new thing, new shiny thing, illusion start to disappear and you go into normal everyday routine in life. So I knew I also had to change myself and I was super open to it. I wanted that. I needed that change and I was open to it. And I wanted to combine it with a big change in environment because I knew in that moment I will feel more happy and more at home somewhere else. One day we looked at each other and said, looks like we're really doing this, huh? And from that moment it got real. We had to decide, do we hire somebody to pack everything up and take everything? Do we sell everything? What's with the paperwork? All the things that had to be managed and organized. And let me tell you, there's a lot to organize. Even though we're married, there's so much to do interviews at the embassy, formularies to fill out, phone calls to do, so much official stuff to think about. And it felt overwhelming. And as you can imagine, because moving alone, just moving normally is a lot. Moving continents, messy AF. But yeah, the only way to do it was going forward, going for it, breaking it down and working on it step by step. No matter how lost you feel in the process, just keep going. And that's exactly what we did, going for it step by step. No matter how messy it got, no matter how stressful it got. And let me tell you, it got stressful. We ended up hiring a moving company, and that sounds not so stressful in theory, but the day of the move, the day they came and packed everything up, really stressful, really chaotic. Probably not for them, they do that every day, but for us. Because the more they packed, the more stressed we got, because we thought like, okay, what if not everything fits? Because it looked like it. And they said like, okay, we kind of have this amount, and maybe you have to keep some stuff here. And we got really stressed because we had no money to book another container. We had no idea what to do because we went through it all with them together before, and they estimated the amount, and we burned all our savings almost on that move. So there's no other way to say it. We had a nervous breakdown. We had no idea what to do. And we sat down on the balcony to escape a little bit and to attempt to calm our nerves and to recollect ourselves and think like, okay, what are we doing? It's now in the middle of everything. It cost already so much money. And we sat down, looked at a small plant on the balcony in Soul Spider, building her net. And we watched her build. She took a small thread, placed it there with a tiny leg, walked again, and built another one. And as cheesy as that sounds, it grounded us, because it showed us like this intricate, really beautiful net is not just there from one second to another. No, a tiny spider builds it step by step, thread by thread, and just keeps going. It catapulted us back into reality. It snapped us out of the stress, out of the panic. It was a moment we still think back and we still reference whenever we get really stressed, really overwhelmed right now. Like the small spider building her net thread by thread. We realized what we can do. Okay, we can ask the guys that were still packing in the background to maybe unpack when there's no room left, because they keep like a list, but we needed to see what they actually packed. We did not have to do that in the end, thank God, but we thought about it like, okay, that's a solution. They can go through it. We have to open boxes, see what's in there, and then decide what we leave behind. It will take more time for sure. It will take a little bit more money because we have to pay them for the time. But it's manageable, it's doable. We found a solution, it calmed us down, we could look forward again. After they packed everything and we watched the trucks with all our belongings drive off, it was time to say goodbye. And we really thought there was more time to say goodbye to everybody, to places, to people, to everything. We even wanted to plan like a small, like almost tour. But as you can guess, that did not happen. There was barely enough time to say goodbye to the immediate family and some close friends that lived close by to us, because there was still so much to do, so much paperwork to do. But in the end, the time came and we had to say goodbye. With that came also the moment I had to say goodbye to my dad at the airport. I tried to prepare myself for that moment. I thought I knew how it will went down. I went through it often in my head. because my dad is in his 70s and you never know what will happen. So I also thought, okay, that's the last time I will see my dad. It was so hard to say goodbye. We hugged, I cried, my dad cried, but he told me he's so proud of me to follow my dreams, to go for it. It was a super sad moment, but also such a wonderful connecting moment, because it's not always easy to connect so emotionally with my dad. So I took it all in, cried the sadness out and looked forward and was happy for that moment, for being so loved and for having him in my life, and to have him being so proud for the next big step in my life, because it is a big step. As soon as we landed in Mexico, I felt the rush of the new life wash over me. And it maybe sounds unreasonable, but as soon as we unpacked everything, as soon as everything arrived, our container was there and we unpacked and put everything in the house, I felt at home. I felt so calm and I felt at home. I felt I belong here. With this newfound sense of belonging came also the realization of what I'm capable of, what every one of us is capable of, if we just tackle it, if we go for it, if we open for change, and if we go for it step by step, and how much these changes in ourselves change how we look at the world and look at ourselves. Because if you keep showing up, there will be change. It will be there. You just have to keep going. There's still so much more I could share, but let's save that for another video. What's really important is this: start, even if you're not feeling ready, and keep going, even if you don't know what the outcome will be. The truth is, nobody really knows. And if they did, it wouldn't be new to them. I mean, look at me with this YouTube video. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going for it. I'm learning as I go about the process, but way more about myself. I'm trying to be less harsh on myself. I'm trying to beat my perfectionism. It's hard, but I can do it, and so can you. You just have to be open to change, and change will come. So, if you knew you could start over and it would be worth it, what is stopping you? Or is there a dream you always put off because it felt too late already? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget, always keep going. It's worth it. About a year and a half ago, I left everything behind and moved continents.